Yeah, that's what I need. Oh, fun, fun. That's pretty close. What's first? No, it's pretty spot on. That works. It's gonna be good when Matt turns on the stream. Thanks. We're gonna do this one too. I'm not ready. I just realized what I got myself into. It's not a huge deal. It'll be straightforward. But we have an Explorer, and I don't get too many Explorers. But Explorer is fairly straightforward. Back window, very, very simple. But when we were checking in, he was like, I actually was wondering if I could swap out the back window with the sunroof. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. No problem. and then I pulled it in. I peeked my head in. The shade was closed. And I was like, oh shit, it's a panoramic. Well, the majority of them are two panels. Not this one. This one's one solid panel from here to here. It's not gonna be that hard to do, but I wouldn't say it's exactly equal for swapping. But there's also like the Explorer itself is a pretty straightforward vehicle. I was just like, oh, I got an Explorer today, cool. And now I'm like, fuck, I gotta do the sunroof. This has happened to me so many times. It reminds me of the days where like, hey, do you have time to do a set of front doors today? I was like, yeah, sure. What is it on? It's on an F-150. Okay, yeah, no problem. And you're just not like super thorough. Most of the time it's okay. And then every once in a while it's like, oh, that F-250 is like an early 2000 or pre, and it's got the front quarters on it because it's super old, and you're just like, fuck, what did I get myself into? But that's okay. We're fine. So we're gonna get this set up. We're doing 15 on the front doors, 35 over the rear sides, nothing on the back window, 50 on the windshield, 50 on the sunroof. In the 3D class, do we use GeoShield film? Yep, we get the C2 carbon for the class. I wonder if I can even plot this sunroof. 26 Explorer. Sunroofs and windshields are always iffy. Might be worth trying though. Let's find out. And it's hands-on, like all students will tint like a full car or so. Oh yeah, whole thing's hands-on. We don't take much time for sit down. You're welcome to take breaks. You're welcome to ask us anything about tinting at any time. No, you can upgrade. You can upgrade your TV. No, just do it in the background when I'm not here. Why does GeoShield have so many ceramic films? It makes it confusing. Yeah, they don't even want that many ceramic films. Let's see, do we have a panoramic sunroof? We have a sunroof. Option, see, this is what I thought it might be if it was a pano. But this is what it actually is. So that's fine. Are reviews like new? They've got to be, right? Review. How does this pattern fit? Oh, it'd be nice if you could actually add a comment. But they probably don't want people to add comments. Okay. All right. What software? We're using Core. Can't wait to get my Stroke Doctor. I was about to give up yesterday on the back window. I like the Stroke Doctor. Stroke Doctor's helpful. Explorer would be a pretty good one to just plotter cut the whole thing. Have we hand cut enough lately? So we're doing 15. Oh, sorry, other thing. 15 C2 is going on the front. Is Pro Nano 15 better? Pro Nano 15 is a little bit better on performance. And the color tone of Pro Nano 15 is still pretty good. We could splice our lineup, but I didn't want to add a lot of long-term confusion on that. So for a little while, we were just replacing the 35. Yep. 35 Pro Nano with 35 C2 carbon. Oh, sorry, C2 ceramic. Do you use C2 carbon and ceramic or GeoShield Apex or Nano ceramic? So my lineup right now is all GeoShield, C2 carbon, C2 ceramic, and Apex. I like a little extra boost from Pro Nano. But the trade-off was the color tones. So they've got 5 automotive films. 3 of them are ceramic. And it's hard when you just go to their product page to understand what the differences are. But the reason that they exist was in 2020, supply chains were just like up in the air, right? Manufacturing stopped. People were still tinting cars, and then there was this massive surge. When things opened back up, like it was just crazy. So at the time, they were very concerned with not having enough film for their dealers. So they introduced an alternative to Pro Nano, which was called Carbon Plus. At the time, it was worse than what C2 ceramic is today, but they inevitably rebranded it from Carbon Plus to C2 ceramic. Is this the only one I don't? Oh, no, I don't. It's right here. 15's become so much more popular for me. A lot of customers that have got 20 in the past come back. This is a repeat customer. And he wanted to go a little darker. It's like you get used to it, and you're just like, Those sunny days hit you, and you're like, you know what? I think I will go a little darker next time. So, for the 3 ceramic films that GeoShield has, C2 ceramic, Pro Nano, and Apex. C2 ceramic and Pro Nano are essentially like in the same category. Just 2 different ways of making a ceramic. One is a dyed ceramic, the other one is a carbon ceramic. Pro Nano being the dyed one, C2 ceramic being the carbon ceramic. But C2 carbon, C2 ceramic, and Apex are all related. They're all in the same window film family. C2 carbon being the main base carbon. C2 ceramic is essentially C2 carbon with a layer of ceramic. And then Apex is C2 ceramic with another layer of ceramic. So like they're all part of the same family. And then Pro Classic and Pro Nano, those are also the same family, same manufacturer, dyed film and dyed ceramic film. So they were going to discontinue Carbon Plus at one point, but they had so many people tell them not to. So for a little bit, they did discontinue it. They're like, we're not going to, and then people like lashed out and they're like, but I really like it. And so then they're like, okay, we'll keep it. And then it improved over time. So at the time, C2 carbon, or C2 ceramic and Pro Nano were farther apart. Now they're closer together because they've improved C2 ceramic. But yeah, they agree. They don't really see the point in having that many ceramic films either. They don't want to confuse people any more than they can. But now each film, if they were like, well, we'll keep C2 ceramic and get rid of Pro Nano, they're going to have a bunch of people upset. So they just carry both because they can. Tried tinting my window. That shit ain't that easy. What? Tinting not that easy? Why do you hand cut over the plotter if you already have the core program? Hand cutting's a little bit better. Not for everything, not all the time, but when I'm doing door windows, I get a better cut by hand cutting most of the time. But that being said, I get some really impressive doors here or there. F-150s in particular are like, oof, those are nice. Good job, software. Hand cutting is tailor fitting, so it's cut to that specific window. A plotter is pre-programmed patterns based on what the window was doing that day. And some of them just don't have very good quality control. Is it two-stage versus bottom loading? No, it has nothing to do with that. For bottom loading, you could always cut your pattern even longer. Do you know Rick from Sun? Yeah. Yeah, Sun Distributing. I used to tint for their company. That was the mobile, like 5 years of mobile tinting that I did. Tint Squad. Legal percentage in Detroit. You can do whatever you want on the front doors and the windshield with a doctor's note. Nothing on there except the top 4 inches if you don't have one. And then you can go as dark as you want on the back. Yep, I tinted with Charles. When was the last time you had a customer come back for a tinting mistake? If I remember, I'll definitely say it. It's been a minute. But that'll probably jinx it too. It's not very often. But it does happen. 26 Model 3 with a big back glass. All the Model 3s have the big back glass. It's been its trademark. Why don't you just snap shrink? I do. We haven't got there yet. We're almost there though. I'm refusing Tesla because I'm so scared of the backlash. You need to get one under your belt. So a Model 3 can also be done 2 different ways. There's a lot of lazy shops and price-conscious customers that will only offer the lower half. Personally, I think it's ugly, but I've done them for people. The Model 3 back window, the upper half is already tinted, and then they have a gradient. So there isn't a great spot to split that back window, but there are quite a few that'll just do the top half. Oh, I don't need that. I got my patterns already split. I'm ready to go. But you don't need to be that scared of them. Thoughts on UV run? It was Tint X, renamed. I know. I get asked about it constantly. I've just never been a big fan. Oops, what happened there? That was stupid. Why did it snag? Do you hand cut everything? No. No, I don't. I can, but I don't. So like the back quarter windows, the back glass, and the, what was the last one? Those quarters. They're often just quicker to plotter cut. So it's just, oh, that part. It's just an alternative. It can definitely be worth plotter cutting. It saves you time. There's plenty of people that aren't as nitpicky as me. And that's a lot of what it comes down to. It's like people look at it and go, that's good enough. I look at it and I go, I don't like it. But that's also why I do things like cover up door panels, take a little bit longer in general on all the tedious little stuff. How much do you charge for a full vehicle? This one's $550 for everything. Yep, front windshield's getting done too. You taught you how to tape a bag? Well, what if the bag's pre-taped? It's pretty quick to put on. How much for a front windshield? Most front windshields start at $150. All right, ready to go. Line that up just over the top edge. Peel halfway. Lift this up. We're going to start with this longer edge here. Get Get this up close to the top and where it's going to be installed. And then I'm just going to slide into that seal a little bit. See how this is pulled back? I'm going to pull it back even farther. Tuck that into the front. Looks good. Double check from the outside. Good, everything's covered. Use a lighter squeegee, and then we'll go over it with a little bit heavier. All good. Should be able to roll this out. We're gonna rinse. Get that side. Get this side. Legal 70 is fine. It depends on the state. But if the law says 70, and they meter it, and you put 70 over it, you went too far. It's an annoying thing about, like, everybody thinks automotive glass is 100%. It's not. Automotive glass starts at 75 to 85%. So when you take a tinted percentage on top of that, it gets darker. So 70 on 70 is not 70. Still really light and hard to tell that it's tinted. So the likelihood that you would actually get anything for it would be pretty rare. What is the limit of tint? There are no limits. We're always breaking through. Pushing past limits. I mean, especially if you're Autobahn. I mean, their slogan is no limits. Never knew I'd like this type of content. You know what? I never knew I'd really enjoy this as a profession. To be honest, it wasn't something that I seeked out, but something I just kind of like stumbled into. Is there a 10%? Yes. No. I don't have one. I'm sure it exists. I don't have one. I've got a 15 and then down to 5. Okay, so we have the back that we need to do. This is going to be 35. So let me grab that roll. Yeah, you're right. 70 over 70 would meter close to 50. I'm working on a 17 Malibu back window. Fingers won't go away. Any advice? Rip it off and redo and shrink it better on the next time. But a 2017 Malibu should be the easy one. Just a shrinking thing. Are you drinking tea? I am. I prefer coffee, but I've had too many coffees in the morning. So I was trying a bunch of different teas and found something that's pretty good. Still got caffeine in it. Oops. There we go. Keep these lined up together. (2002) Explorer. I'm trying to remember what those are like. I know I've had them. Explorers were always one of the... Like, there's a few vehicles that I was surprised I just didn't get very often. Explorers are one of them. For as many as are on the road, we just don't get as many. I wonder if you could drum up extra business for particular cars by running ads against that particular car. That would kind of be fun. Like, I want more Malibus and more Explorers. Get that specific would be funny. I'm the only tinter here now. What's the trade-off on drinking tea versus coffee? Coffee makes me happier, tea makes me more sad. But I got older, man. Too much coffee, then I get too much heartburn. It's sad. There we go. Because I have like a cappuccino dialed in, like super nice. It's really good. And I can easily drink too many of those every day. Oh, getting older. Do you have like a normal scrub pad to clean the windows? You can use a normal scrub pad. Normal non-scratch scrub pad's fine. I have something made by a tint company, but it's this one. It's this one right here. So Scrub It Detroit Tint Studio Edition. The white tape is called Seal Guard. Ooh, that would be tough. I should keep one over here with the label on, but then I use it. Soap and water or rubbing alcohol? Ooh, that's a big difference there. No, just soapy water. Soapy water. Alcohol is good to prep the edges with on like a windshield or a back window. But we don't need anything that aggressive. No, I stopped using steel wool a long time ago. Steel wool, the little bits drove me crazy. Like, we had that and this was before ATR. So on a film removal, we would use a subpar adhesive remover. We tried a bunch of them, and it's just like window film adhesive is fucking aggressive. And it's hard to have something to cut through it. But we like steel wool. And a lot of people would recommend using steel wool. There's zero reason nowadays to use steel wool. But I hated all the little bits that it would leave behind. So when I re-tinted it, I would have like a little steel wool fiber buried somewhere in the glue. How do you know what to pay yourself and what to put up for the shop? I don't have a serious answer for that. I just go, I deserve this. And then what do we need for the business? Have you ever tinted a 2019 A6? The seals are super tight. Yeah, every Audi has super tight seals. They're all a similar pain in the ass. Audis and VWs. It's a pain in the ass all the way around. It's a pain in the ass to pull the seal, and it's a pain in the ass to tint them without pulling the seal. Welcome to tinting. Why are you tinting that? So you can snort the lines off the back seat. Why does everybody's mind just go to the gutter? For a couple of reasons. So on the rear, you have, I need a new blade. On the rear, you have factory privacy glass. It doesn't do a lot to block heat. So the ceramic that we're putting on here is actually a really light ceramic film. This is a 35. So you still be able to see in the back some. The back will be probably about a 10%. This one. Yep, bubbly tint sucks to pull off. But it's an endless hamster wheel on people getting that shit installed. What mods do you think I should do for my dart? I mean this in the nicest way possible. Understand that you have a dart, and no amount of accessories will make it not a dart. You'll just be that dart on the road. Save up and get a nicer car. But I used to do dumb shit to my cars. I had dumb cars. Like I had a Pontiac G5. And I would look at dumb stuff to do. Plasti dip the whole thing. LED lights, halogens. And you know what? At the end of the day, I liked it. But then if you don't own it, you look at it and you're like, oh. It's a fucking G5. And nobody cares. Why did you heat shrink the bottom? On door windows, there's not as much to shrink. What sprayer do you use? I use a Tint keg sprayer that's like already pre-assembled. That's one thing that people really miss. Nicer brass fittings are expensive. This has a swivel. This is, I think, a T-jet, and then you need an end, and then you need like this part too. So altogether, this is probably like 60 bucks. And yeah, you can find a complete plastic one for like 20 bucks. But that's what makes some of the kegs more expensive, is all the like nicer brass fittings are not cheap. You remember you had a car that had a mustache on the driver's window? Yeah, that was my Pontiac G5. Of course I remember that video. One of my earliest fun videos. It took like 20 takes to try and get that like perfect lineup to the camera. It was a slow day. I have a RAV4 if you were to give me an estimate for 20 all the way around. Without a windshield, it would be $299. With a windshield, it'd be $450. And then we have, that'd be in carbon. We have a few films up from there. What's the recommended mixture for OptiGlide? They're assistant installation, like you're not mixing gels into water. So I use OptiGlide in a spray bottle as is. The only thing I might do is just add a teeny bit of soap, but just understand using gels first. Gels are to help keep the edges. So on this one, for example, I got this teeny little border around this entire window. And not too difficult to squeegee this one, but it is hard to get this perfect, and there can be little dirt specks and stuff that's even higher that's nearly impossible to completely clean. So when you spray the window, sometimes dirt will run back into your work, like a speckle or two. So then you can take a gel and clean the window like normal, but then hit all the edges with gel, and it'll just help the window turn out better. Why is there a liquid-like solution used for installing tints? I never understood why. So it's a big sticker. This is a piece of film. And then you just, it's a clear or translucent sticker. So this is me installing it on the glass without water. And it just doesn't fucking move, and now there's bubbles. So when I spray soapy water and I put this on the glass, now I can slide it around and slide it into place, and then I can squeegee it out, and there's no bubbles. Does your price change based on the film? Yes, of course. I can't just charge $2.99 and give you my most expensive ceramic. That doesn't make any sense. You can pick whatever shade in each category. So carbon has a variety of shades, ceramic has a variety of different shades, and you can pick what look you want on your vehicle. What soap do you use? I mean, we could confuse people and call it an installation. What do we call it? It is a soap. But we can confuse people farther and try and make it sound even more special. I have a TikTok video where I made why we use water, because I would get asked that, like, why do you use water? Why are you spraying that? Where's all the water going? Entry film is C2 carbon. Upgrade. Upgrade is C2 ceramic, and upgrade from there. Get rid of this. Close. We don't need all these cupboards. Close. Larger cut. And then what else do we need? Just the quarters. Is there a film with 99 IR? Yes. Apex. Okay, I don't need to cut these out at the same time. I'm just gonna start with these. We're gonna see if they fit. I'm skeptical, but we'll see. Ooh, I can change my knife in the meantime. Why would I choose Apex over C2 ceramic? Because C2 ceramic has one layer of ceramic, Apex has two. But if you just want a nice look on your car, C2 carbon's awesome. C2 ceramic blocks out some additional heat. Apex blocks out the most amount of heat. Just tinted my car and it has a blue hue on it. Does that mean it's a cheap one? No, not necessarily. That's just how it is. XPEL XR Plus is notoriously blue. I'm not a big fan of strong hues though. It's just something that we have to deal with a lot of different film companies. This goes to the other side. Does this liner have a hue to it? Oh, even the liner has a hue to it. I never really thought of that. Look at that. You can really see it there. It's like slightly yellow. The machine does the cuts. For these quarters, yes. On the door roll down ones, I was the machine. Happy Father's Day. Oh, thank you. We went to a few spots in Indianapolis, and I did a shit ton of driving. Is Mr. Rogers your daddy? I wish. Do you use Olive GeoShield? No, just those three. There's no sense. There's no sense in having every one of those films. It's confusing for you. It's confusing for your customers. It's confusing for their customers. But there's reasons why. People have preferences and price points. I was on the phone with the owner of Geo, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to discontinue Carbon Plus." This was like years ago when it was called Carbon Plus. And then they did, and then they got a bunch of backlash from people. And then they're like, well, I guess we're not discontinuing it. There's what I do and what I think for my business, and then there's what other people do for theirs. Everybody's got different needs and thoughts. Okay, so this edge is good. This I'm going to free up a little bit more. Explorer quarter windows can go die. They're typically not fun. We're going to buy your products in Europe. You got to fly over here and then fly them back. We don't ship internationally. Just was too much of a pain. Somebody orders $100 in tools, pays $60 in shipping, and then it arrives slow, and then sometimes there's VAT charges and other shit, and then we get yelled at, so. Or then we get a charge back, or then something gets lost, and then like, well, what the fuck? Ooh. I don't know if this is gonna fit. This is the larger one, and it's really close. I feel like they just updated these quarters. We'll see. We'll see if we can get this one to work. Because all that's right. I don't have any room at the bottom to extend it into. So that's why I feel like something on this maybe changed. But we got gel on our side, so we'll see if we can trim this nice on the inside. If not, we'll have to shorten it up before we peel it. What could you do in times Tint is slow to make money? I don't know. I don't know what your skill set is. Work on things that make your business not slow is what first comes to mind. I think it's slow here I get happy. Because then I don't have to tint as much. And I get to catch up on other things that I have an interest in. Like making tools and researching more stuff and experimenting with dumb shit. Just cut off the end some. Yep. That's what I went for. And you know what? I think we're good. I would typically try and do that beforehand. Like I would trim it here, and then I would have just a little bit that I could tuck into that seal. I don't necessarily like this has a harder rubber seal on it. So what I was nervous more of is making a cut, and then you like lean down here, and then there's like a little gap or something. I don't see that though. So it was a good gamble, seemed to have paid off. We're not completely done with it. I could always see something afterwards, I don't know. But for now, it seems good. Yeah, I don't see any. Do you see a gap? I don't see a gap. I see a little finger trying to pop up here, though. Let me make sure that goes away. A coupe like a Lamborghini, would you charge them less or more? I would definitely charge them more. And that's not, oh, it's Lamborghini, it's worth more money, therefore I charge more. It's more risk. So I charge more to cover potential liabilities. Still not as much as if an issue happened. But that kind of stuff you have to take into consideration. Is like, yeah, it's a small car. But did Lamborghini charge less because it's a coupe? No, it's a fucking Lamborghini. Are they gonna charge $200 if you want to get a new seatbelt? No, they're gonna charge you $10,000 because it's a fucking Lamborghini. So yes, there will be more of a cost. I remember seeing some of those options on like Top Gear. Like, oh, you want the color of the seatbelt stitching to be red. That's a $10,000 upgrade. Does it mean they installed a significantly better seatbelt? No. It's just what they charge for it. I'm not that egregious though. But you got to keep some of that in mind. Like if I'm working on a specialty car, there are definitely things that could happen that would be significantly more expensive than on an Explorer. So, yes, we're going to take our sweet ass time with that one. Are you doing the windshield? Yep. Why does the plotter have larger or smaller prints? For different situations and preferences. Some tinters do not tuck their patterns into the gasket. So they have an option to cut to the gasket, not below the gasket. I strongly disagree with not tucking into the bottom seal in a lot of cases, but you know, some people are some people. The Explorer is one where it doesn't make as much difference, but just in general. Like scratching a door panel. Like even sneezing in the general direction of a door panel. I had a Range Rover that had, like, and dude, I get covering door panels, obviously. I do it all the time. I had to cover this door panel like it was going 30 feet underwater. Like when I pull this back, it's not uncommon to have a little water trail in here or here on a Range Rover. If it gets into the stitching at all, it will swell the leather or whatever they fucking put on that panel. It's awful. Difficult window to tint. and I had to redo it a few times. And every time I had to redo it, I had to pull off the other plastic, put on new plastic, and try again. Yeah, there's just stuff that can go wrong. So what we do, and or what I do, in most cases, what you see in the majority of these live streams. But if I had a panel that was made of suede, I'm not taking this tape and just putting it right on top of the suede. I'm going to do something that's a little bit more gentle for suede. It might be fine, it might not be. I'm not going to take that chance. There's this YouTuber that I watched some videos, and he had, like 5 or 6 supercars? And it was just actually really refreshing, because he would actually tell you all the stupid-ass issues he would have with these cars. Every week, one of those cars was back in service. Not because of how he drove them, but just because how the cars are. It's like, oh, I forgot to plug in the battery when I took this one home. And then the battery died. And now Ferrari is going to charge me to completely replace the battery on it because they have to. And that's not covered under warranty. That's you have to pay $10K or whatever the fuck they want to charge you for that. And that's just part of owning one of them. Back windows of Corvettes are quite hard. Yes, they can be for sure. Except for that special C7 year. That was a good year for vets. They looked at that and they're like, what if we just made it flat this time? Every tinter rejoiced. All right, line this up as close as possible without going over. See how nice that looks? Squeegee all that out. We're going to hit the sides with the tri-edge card. Saw a guy that burnt a C6 5 times. Yep, I had a live stream that was kind of like that. I think it was like 3? Burnt it twice, 3rd time was good. A lot of little things play into it. It's a window, too, that I wouldn't recommend like having to shrink 100% flat. You could leave a couple small little fingers on the edges and just touch them up on the inside. They're super easy to do that way. Doesn't make the glass that much easier. but we want to try and make everything as flat as possible. We don't like little fingers popping up, but there's no reason why. There's no reason why you couldn't. Missed a spot. Twinkle toes. Listen here, dipshit. You come do this. Fuck you. What spot? All right, that one's good. This one we gotta shrink because of that. Yes, this is ceramic. We're doing C2 ceramic on this one. Discontinued. You know, this is actually better that it gets discontinued. Last time I just left it and I capture it. I like when it dies and then I have to restart it. I've decided. It pushes it. For whatever reason, if you just stream. Some say after tinting your windows, you can't lower your windows for 3 days. Yeah, that's generally what we recommend. To be honest, it's more of a, I don't know. It's just so many people say it. Tinners in the beginning have a really rough time, and then they will have windows that peel, and it kind of freaks them out long term. If you install a window properly, you can roll it down right away. It's not going to hurt it. The window still is going to take some time to dry. And a dried window film is just going to grab better, but the only thing that can happen is that bottom hits that seal and causes it to peel. But with a good adhesive, good install, that's not going to happen. Frameless are always a good example of that. No. Last roll down. Swipe this, swipe that, gel. Spray. Peel. Legal limit? It depends on where you are. Some states are 35. Oh, NY's got one of the worst And Y is like nothing, and then you get yearly vehicle inspections. I've just been told that you have to pay off the inspectors. You find one that'll take cash. And you put cash in front of his glasses. And then you're good. And this rolls up. Yep, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. They got really annoying tint laws. I used to think Michigan had really bad tint laws. We really don't. You can go as dark as you want in the back, which some states don't allow you to do 5% on the rear. Which, like, the idea of getting a ticket and having to replace the back because it's too dark is just, to me, crazy. But that's on sedans. Like, SUVs are under different rules for that, too. So, like, some states, the sedan laws are different than the SUVs. That's why sedans don't have factory privacy glass on the rear. And then trucks and SUVs universally can have, like, as dark as 15 from what I've seen. I wonder if that's an oopsie. Like, 'cause I've metered some, and they've gone as dark as like 15 to sometimes 13%. Like there's been a handful of vehicles that have been especially dark on the rear from the factory. And I wonder if in some states that was not okay. They're probably fine, but I just wonder. 5, I'm getting 5 on the rear, 20 on the front, 50 on the shield. Nice, that'll look good. Do you always put tape on the seals? Almost always. And on this one, it's not really gonna do anything. That's a nice clean Explorer, rubber seals, very clean. Tape on it is more of a habit than anything. In Colorado, what's a reasonable price? I don't know, I'm not in Colorado. Because pricing can vary so much based on the city that you're in, let alone the state. Just like what does sushi cost in the nice end of town versus the gas station? Like, Tint's the same way. Everything's the same way. Okay, so I'm actually not going to tweak this pattern at all. Dude, I tinted for shops that would have neighbors that would charge $100 less than them, and we would hear it all day long. There's more universal prices for the general inquiry, and then there's outliers. So pricing can be all over the place. Is all over the place. I'm gonna do this one more time. I don't like that I can't squeegee these. Completely perfect. Like, there's always something that's gonna leave a little bit of a streak or a little pool somewhere. That's why I like gel. Gel's nice. How long are you supposed to leave the windows up, and does the weather affect that? We just say a few days in the summertime, up to a week in the wintertime. Like if there's snow on the ground. And that's mostly just to put a customer at ease on the windows that are going to take longer to dry. Sometimes you tint a door window and there's a stubborn water pocket that takes a little bit longer to dry that you might have missed. Or, you know, just something. See, this one's going better because I know how they cut this. So we're going to try and do the same thing we did before. And we hope this goes well. All my practice flat got, yes, you got it. All my practice flat glass cutting came in handy. Ooh, that was nice. That was a great comment. Love you, man. You're the most amazing person I've ever met in my life. Do you do cars too? The fuck do you think we're doing? Oh, that one's peeled. Cool. So I got, it's 11:30. I got 2 rear quarters to do, windshield. He swapped out the back window. Not fair, but it's fine. It's fine. With sunroof. So I got to do rear quarters, windshield, sunroof. It's been 10:30 appointment. Got the stream started probably at like 10:30. Not terrible. Don't buy gas station sushi. Unless you go to a fancy gas station. You know what? Gas stations have changed. Gas stations are nice now. Soroki's is at a gas station. They're good. Do we? No, we don't do them this way. A noob would do them that way. I'm a noob. There, it'll save me a little bit. And then it'll also confuse the fuck out of me as I forget. Which orientation is for which window. I literally watch you every day because it's mesmerizing. Is it? I don't think so. I think we need a definition of mesmerizing. I don't think this is mesmerizing. Oh yeah, I should put chat over here. I like my 2%. I've done 2% for a handful of people. I had one of them come back in. They brought a few vehicles. We did it. I told them we could change out the front doors. They're like, they usually got 5, and on one vehicle, I think they did a double 5 somewhere. I don't know. They had a bunch of vehicles, and then they got used to 5, and they're like, let's do 2. They're like, I don't want. 2 super fucking dark. My cat's watching your stream. He thinks it's mesmerizing. $15 on the shield. It's not bad. Most of the time, no. When you're younger, your eyesight's better. And I also, like, I haven't really done this personally, but I think this would hold up. If you tint your car completely in 5, you're blocking an even amount of light. And I think if you just take a minute, you get in your car, you sit there, your eyes can adjust. Right? Because it's like walking into a dark room. At first you can't fucking see. But if you have your sides much darker and the front lighter, well then you got more light, so your eyes don't adjust the same. But also, don't fucking do it. Just don't fucking do it. But I bet my theory holds up. But don't fucking do it. 10 on the windshield. That's cool. I need a 10%. Oh, I like the Ziploc bag for the temporary plate. I've never seen that before, but that makes sense. What? There. Oh, this one. Ooh, sorry. Didn't realize this was all fancy. It's like, why, yes. I will lower the back seats. I would do it for a dumb video. It sounds like you're saying do it, but I didn't tell you to do it. The kids are gonna do it anyways. GeoShield? No, GeoShield doesn't make a 10%. I wish they did. They need to make a 30% and a 10%. They need to fill in some of the wider gaps. So when you're looking on a display board, you have 35, 20, 15, and then you jump all the way down to 5. And then you really just like, you just need to split some of those stronger differences. Okay, let me hop in here. Reno, 12%. Yeah, there's definitely got to be a few companies that do it. There we go. How much is it to get 5? Five we can do on all the sides and the rear at $2.99. Just let it float like that for a while. It's gotta go the other way. Long edge on top, weird. It's competitive. Let's go. We're competitive. We did it. For some people. And then other ones would be like, what the fuck? It just depends on who you talk to. This is Explorer. Here we go. I'm gonna go get my other one. Nice shops are pricing 5 all around, like 500 to 600. Well, if you're doing a windshield too, that changes the price. It'd be 450, 450, 550, or 650, depending on the film that you go with. All right, where's my gel? I still want it for the other one. I was too lazy to go find it. There it is. So we need this, a towel, and a blade, and we're good. Right now, we're booked out 2 weeks. But yeah, we're in summertime. So a few things. Just built up a good customer base over the years. Like this one's returning, which is really cool. So we obviously see more of that now, just being in business for a while. Ads, answering the phone, getting back to people quickly. I'm sure a lot of other places are plenty booked up right now too. all that plays a factor into it. We got quite a few full vehicles with windshields lined up. I miss the days of not doing windshields though. Doing a windshield here and there is like nice. But man, can we just not? All right. So this one is good. Now, from here we typically jump to the back window. He likes the back window where it's at. So we're not changing the back window. But he also used it to sub out the sunroof. Sacrificed the back window for sunroof. And I didn't walk outside. But that's okay. I should have looked at it first. I still could say something, but he's a returning customer. As long as I get a roll that's going to fit this, I'll just do it. It's fine. Are you hiring? Thinking about it. But now I don't have time to think about it. That's what happens when you get busy. It's like when you're not busy, you're like, no, I don't need to hire. And then you get busy and you're like, I don't have time to think about hiring. Do you do detailing as well, or just this? Just this. Just this as a service. We do other things, but not for customers. We're a tool and film distributor. There we go. Isn't that nice? I don't need to pull this. I might. We definitely don't need to, but it is always nice to remove them whenever possible. Explorer gives me a lot of space. Here, see? Tool distributor. Film and tools you can get there, and then you can save 5% if you use the code 313 Tint. What's a job like this? All around with the windshield in C2 ceramic is $550. Go matte. Not far from the shop. I want to learn how to tint, but I have years and detailing experience. Yeah, detailing is just not a service I'm interested in pulling in. It's noisy. Might hire eventually. It's just one of those things where with any extra thing you do, it's not just like you hire somebody and then all your problems are taken care of. It's like now I have a department to oversee. and then I do other stuff too with that time. So with the right person, it would be a lot easier, but it's just hard to find the right person. And then you got to keep them busy. Now wouldn't be that hard. It's when things slow down that's like, oof. But I'm less of a good operator. And I get way more interested just doing stuff. We're in Detroit. Sterling Heights, 18 and Mound. Do you teach? Yeah, we have classes that we run. Classes, where do you sign up? Here. 313tint.com. We have both single-day sessions, and then we have a 3-day automotive course. So the single-day sessions are you can train with an instructor for the day, and you can learn whatever you want about tint. It's not like, oh, I have to stick to automotive for the day, or I have to stick to architectural for the day. We only have so much time. But you could come in specifically to learn how to shrink and install windshields, or get better at door windows, or get a full crash course in automotive, or spend the day doing architectural. Like, the day is yours. You get to ask all the questions that you want. See how to use everything. I'm at 16 in Gratiot. Wow, that's close. Our glass shop did a windshield for one of your employees. Super nice guy. Oh, that was Mark. You guys just did that recently. Okay, I need this stuff. What matches factory on a 24 Yukon? I don't know for sure. 20's pretty likely though. That's usually the closest match, but sometimes it's not. But I say I don't know for sure because I always take a meter and I check, and sometimes I'm surprised. $11.49. Really? When did that happen? I feel like we lost 20 minutes. let's prep that and then see what we're gonna do about this sunroof. We can do that while it's drying. We could take the mirror off while it's drying. We could go take a nap while it's drying. So this is a snuggle dryer sheet. I'm gonna smear it all over the windshield. We will explain when it comes time to shrink. The tape shows us the outline, but more importantly, I cut on the tape rather than on the glass. Windshield replacements have gotten ridiculous. And I want to do whatever I can to mitigate putting a little scratch in it. Okay, so we're doing 50 on the sunroof and the windshield. But I want to see if this is worth it. Also, this will show me the size. So we obviously got to go this way. Yep, we can definitely cover it. I wasn't super worried about that. What do you think? Should we try it? Do we resize it? Do we make it bigger? We don't know. It's an annoying thing about plotted patterns. I just don't feel like taping all the way around it, but I have clearance all the way around the sunroof. It's just going to be a bit of a pain. But we got to swap this roll anyways. So let's put this one back. Plot or not plot? $50. Oh, I got a 40-inch roll anyways. That makes sense. Can you explain a plotter? So you put a little bit of blade out on the cutter. You just want just the very end sticking out. Force is just how hard the blade pushes down. That's going to be one of the settings that you fiddle with the most. Speed doesn't matter that much. You just can cut generally quicker. It's not going to hurt anything. Always one. There we go. And then I need a screw. No, that's a flathead. This one. And then somehow this unplugs. There we go. Little clip on the back side though. And there, now we got more space. That was easy enough. This has to come off. We're gonna scrape the windshield anyways. It's almost dry. It's pretty dry. Like my humor. This is a little razor blade holder. This is called the Quarter Pro. Usually has a squeegee blade in it. Comes with 2. I keep that little one with me. And then this is nice for just reaching farther down. Hard to reach spots. I don't like having to scrape a windshield, but there's been so many times that I've just quickly gone over a windshield and then, oops, I missed something. So residue and stickers and grabby bits can be pretty much anywhere on a windshield. They're often up in the top corner and down in the lower corner. But see, then you randomly have something like this that somebody could have just like haphazardly pulled off. And then you have glue. But sometimes it's just not very obvious. Have like a small smear or speck or something. Somebody sneezed on a windshield. Got some bits stuck behind. But the Explorer is nice because they got a lot of space at the bottom. We're going to squeegee this off. We'll go hit the other side. I'm still thinking about the sunroof. What do we do? Do we hand cut or do we plotter? With a hand cut, I know I'm going to get the shape that I need. It's just going to take me longer to do, and it's going to be more annoying. But if I plotter cut it, I could potentially have the right pattern, and then it'll just go much quicker. We have a phone call greeter thing that says, "Thanks for calling Detroit Tint Studio." And people just don't even, they don't pay attention. This DJ's? What shop is this? That tiny brush. This is the mini tint brush. No, this is a 1-inch razor blade on a holder. Because I can't put 2 in this, can I? Did I try that? I feel like I tried that before. All right, good. That's cleaned. We burned a little time. And now I might as well put some film on it. Same holder for the small squeegee. They give you 2 ends. So this part unscrews, this bottom part here, and then you replace it with a little razor blade holder. You're putting film on the inside? I sure hope so. Yes, Quarter Pros are on our site. And then you can also save 5%. Oh, it's covered. 313 tint. There. I gotta pull it out of the holder. I gotta reprint this. 313 tint. I'm gonna save 5% on tools. What's up?
For the student just called from last week.
Okay.
Want to know, wants to place an online order on the code.
Yeah, you can tell them so we don't yell it over the stream.
All caps, no spaces.
Do you use Suntech? Yeah, no. No, I don't. Briefly, years ago I liked their PPF, and I used a couple sample rolls, or smaller rolls that way. I don't even know where we got it from. I love their name for their abbreviation for their entry-level film. It was Suntech STD. I was like, excuse me? I think it was an abbreviation for standard, but still. Good job, whoever put that on the label. What are you recording this with? Action 6. What's your average price for a full PPF job? We're not doing PPF right now. All right, put your heat guns on high. And I should have been saying this for years. I don't know why. Like, I think of different things. My battery's gonna die. I gotta replace that. One sec. But I get asked all the time what temperature the heat gun should be at. And the answer is obviously hot. But a lot of people get confused because, like, well, I made the heat gun hot, but then it burned the tint. Anything can burn a tint. Like, any temperature on a heat gun, even on low, can burn the film. The thing is, it takes time for stuff to heat up, right? So if I just hold my hand here, ouch, it's getting really hot, I'm gonna burn myself. But if I move my hand, I can get it really close, and then it just like feels gently warm. But this heat gun gets very, very hot. So what you wanna keep in mind is we adjust temperature with both speed and distance. So to figure out what temperature you need, put the heat gun on high, start it farther out, 45-degree angle towards where you're shrinking. Don't shrink like this. We're going up, so I'm gonna have it like this. And then I'm just gonna gradually move the heat gun in until I see the film starting to react, and then I'm gonna hold it at that distance. And then move it across, bring it up a little bit, bring it back, and then stop. Just make a back and forth pass. And then if you can see these little ocean waves, then you want to push those up. If you don't see them, make another pass. So again, heat gun, bring it in until you see the film reacting, keep it there, that distance, and then just gradually move it. Go up. And then stop. And the important thing to know is like this area I was gonna hit with the heat gun a little bit more. Film holds heat and will continue to shrink if you get it hot enough. So even after you immediately pull the heat gun away, the film, look at it, the film might shrink a little bit more. That side's done. Let's go do the other side. Ever shrink over a large decal on a windshield? Yeah, that's often fine. A little bit annoying because it's gonna stick to the glass a little differently. Air's gonna come back in on the edges. So it just might seem a little funny, but it's not gonna leave an impression in the film. It'd be cool if it did, because then we could do some cool impression stuff, but no, it's fine to shrink over. But if their back window had like a lot of lettering over like the corner and the edges or a big patch or something, then your skill's gonna vary on that. It's hard to see where to cut. It's gonna shrink a little different. It'd be a little easier if you just removed it. Starting to hate the green hue on Pro Nano. This is C2 ceramic. The 35 is especially what got me on Pro Nano. If anything, I always thought it was a little bit more warm. $100 tint jobs in downtown LA. Oh wow, that is crazy. Oh, let me just, this is shrunk. I'm gonna make sure that corner. The heat gun is set to high. We just went over that. The temperature, you just wanna crank up the temperature on your heat gun. You control your heat with speed and distance. Because if I set, I don't know, what should I throw in the oven today? If I take a meal and I throw it in the oven, and I set the oven to 350 or 400, and I leave it in there for 8 hours, it's probably gonna burn, right? So like no matter what, film is, if it's shrinking, it's inevitably going to shrivel and burn. So the temperature doesn't matter. What matters is the temperature relative to like where you're at in your shrink. So you figure out the temperature by holding your heat gun away and moving it in until the film starts to react. And then you hold that same distance. You shrink the film where it needs to be shrunk. Just keep it moving. Don't ever hold the heat gun in one spot for too long. By too long, I mean like a few seconds. What's the craziest car you ever had in the shop by engine or performance? That's honestly a pretty small list. We get a lot of like nicer new cars, but not like extreme exotics. Maybe the R8 that we had. I get a lot of this. And you know what? I'm happy with a lot of this. New Explorers. New F-150s. New cars. Your most popular average everydayers? Yes, please. Exotics stress me out. There's too many things that can all of a sudden be a very expensive bill. And then the owners can be all over the place. Do you still go over the edges with the heat gun after you cut it? Yes, and I do that with or without the tape. So when you shrink a windshield and then you trim it, you had a lot of film here that was attached to where you shrunk. And then you cut it off. So part of that edge that you just trimmed off had some of that shrunkness, like it all helped hold it down. So now when you go to press the film down, you might see some little wobbles. A lot of guys tend to push the film down a little bit early too, so it still lays flat but could have been shrunk a little bit farther. When shrinking film, do you always want to start towards the bottom or towards the top? I start in the middle and work out. It doesn't matter if you go up or down, because what happens down here doesn't affect what happens here. The bottom's going to be a little bit easier. The top tapers in and is a little bit harder. How did you get paid when you were working for shops? Oh, fucking shit. Hang on. I'm replacing the battery. Camera just... It gave me a warning, too. It needs to give me 2 warnings. I do. This has been like the 3rd time this has happened. It gives me a warning. I'm like, I gotta change the battery. And then you know what? I fucking forget. Like every time. And now instead of being a quick swap, I gotta restart the camera. It's because we did 2%. All right, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. I know. 6. Oh, don't give me this shit. Who's connecting? Oh, there we go. Camera is black. I know. I gotta say it like 100 times because people are like, it's black. I know. And it didn't come back. Why didn't it come back? Because it probably changed my live code. Sorry. Let me see. 3, 2, 1. I'm crossing my fingers pretty hard now. Yeah, it's action 6. There we go. When you do everything right, and it still takes a few seconds for it to come back on. All right. There we go. That works. Sweet. All right, you guys can see again. Good, good. Why are you tinting the outside and not the inside? Because we haven't gotten to the inside yet. But the inside's prepped. It's ready to go. We are ready. Give it one final squeegee and then install. You should also take a towel and wipe the edges. With the rock chips show underneath it. Oh, are we? Okay, so if that's a serious question and we know what's going on the inside, yeah, rock chips will still show. But if we're tinting the outside, which we're not, they would still show. That's why I was laughing. Okay, so. All right, so we're gonna wipe this edge off. Ooh, that's nice. No dots on this one. They laminate the windshield. Or laminate the dots in the windshield. See, if they have the power to do that, why don't they just always do it? Why'd they do it on Explorer? There's so many cars that they just don't do that on. Every stream, we get the same question, at least a half dozen times. Like, why are you doing the outside? Tint always goes on the inside, but we do take steps beforehand to make sure that it's going to go on the inside correctly. So there's some prep work on the outside, and then the film goes on the inside. How did you get paid when you were working? Oh, that's when the camera died. When you were working for shops, was it per car, fixed, commission? Yes, to all of the above. It was very different based on how much the shops were making, what moods that they were feeling, and what was generally like better. A good middle ground was 100% commission, because there were just things I didn't want to do. I didn't want to like clean up the rest of the shop. I was pretty focused on just doing what I was there to do. So if I was just there to tint the cars that I did, I would clean up the area that I tinted in, and then the rest of it wasn't mine. It's not my shop to clean up. Which was sometimes not fair. But you know what? Sometimes it's just how I felt. But there were plenty of times too. It's just like working on commission, you get a lot of extra things that suck up your time that you have no control over. So for example, driving out to a place, I didn't get extra for driving 45 minutes and then driving somewhere else for another 45 minutes. So that kind of stuff would get irritating. Working for hourly is It was either day rates or commission that I like the most. Everybody's gonna be different on that. Some might like a little bit of hourly on top of it, but like hourly becomes so infinitesimal compared to commission that like I don't want to sweep a bay. Like it just ties me there for like a lower rate. I don't want to do that. Disconnected. Nice. All right, let's kick this in the algorithm again. Finish the car? What car? Were we doing something? Oh, come on, just connect and then we can. It takes a second. There, now it's connected. Good. Okay, so we are in the middle of reverse rolling this windshield, which means we are going to take it from the outside, what? And put it on the inside. That's crazy. It's on the outside. That means it's tinted on the outside. You can't do that. You can't put that on the inside. That's like the whole other side. Why would you be on the outside if it's going on the inside? That makes no sense. Okay, so we peeled the liner, most of it. I still have some of it connected right in here. So we're just gonna coat. Then we're gonna roll up our windshield. Get about halfway, then I'll pull it up off the windshield, roll the rest of this up. And I still don't understand how this works, but this just does. So we roll the whole thing up like a poster. I want to keep the roll as tight as possible, helps installation. And then, because we loosen the liner, I'm going to find it. There we go. And hold it on the roll, and then I'm going to unwind the roll, and now magically that liner is stuck to the opposite side. It's fucking magic. If I did that accidentally, I wouldn't be able to figure out how I did that ever again. So now we're going to take this part, get it up on the shield over on the left side. Now, get this floppy film up on the windshield first. That's step one. Step two is now start unrolling the film. And as you unroll it, press it up on the windshield. Because the more this goes into place, the smoother the rest of it's gonna unroll. See how none of it is just like falling back on me? And everything is just like, wow, he makes that look easy. Because very early on, this went right near where I was gonna install it. And I just kept pushing film up. So there's nothing falling back off the windshield to then bobble around. So this last bit, I pull off early so I can get the liner out of the car. And then I'm gonna scooch this forward and tuck on the sides and figure out where this needs to settle. Want to make sure that there's no gaps. That's the worst. 50% roll. Line it up, and then you realize, oh shit, it's not perfectly lined up where it needs to go, and then you got a gap. That should be pretty good. I'm gonna grab one more tool, a film spreader. So we're just fanning out the film. We need another good analogy. There's a lot of people that'll just start squeegeeing off on the side. You want to start in the middle and work your way out. Because this film is all loose, and I could take it and bunch it up together. So if you just grab it on the edge and shove it inwards, you're gonna create more fingers. So you start near the middle and you fan the film out on the window. I would sometimes say, you know, like you're pulling a bed sheet over a mattress. It's like you want to stretch it out over the windshield nice and even so there's no wrinkles. But I think some people just don't make their beds. Or change their sheets. After you fan the film out, that's when I'll take a harder squeegee. Because we got a lot of air, but we didn't push super hard. This handle is called the Slim Slam, and this squeegee is called the Pros Blade. Why not use a brush? Brush is good. Brush is good, but I would see the brush for like $40 fucking dollars. And then this is thinner, so this reaches into tighter spaces and does the same thing. This part. So I got a little plastic bit up here. Let's trim that short. What are some challenges with mobile tinting? Yeah, spray away glass cleaner is really good. There we go. Looks good. Challenges of mobile tinting is everything. Dude, there's nothing easy about mobile tinting. You're doing so much more than even I have to do as a shop. You have to basically get set up everywhere that you go. I've done mobile tinting. I've gone to places. My happiest was tinting in other shops, but they weren't set up like a tint shop. Some tint shops aren't set up like a good tint shop though. But when I was doing mobile, none of it was outside. I refused to tint outside. Tinting outside is you have both the sun, wind, possible rain, cold, temperature, like shit, man. You just have everything working against you when you're trying to tint outside. And then you don't often get as much respect from most customers because, like, it's just tint and you're mobile. they think it should be cheaper. Like it's just tough all the way around. I think mobile tinting for me, like what was the best was going to automotive companies, not tint companies, but going to different automotive companies and tinting inside their shop. But the annoying part is that you're working around people that do not understand anything that you do. They're there to get their work done, and you just get in the way. So you got to respect that. And they got to respect that you're there. So there can be a nice mutual understanding, or you can sometimes work with some assholes. How can I remove tint glue? That you're gonna wanna look up some videos, but soapy water and razor blades, steamer, adhesive remover, and scrub pads. How many subs do you have? You can click. It'll tell you. Why are you asking me? Do you do the tint competitions? I have done them in the past. They are fun to do. It's just hard to justify it now. But they are super cool events. What do I need? I need towels. And then I gotta do the sunroof. Can I steal some towels? Yeah. Some purples. Do you have like some that I can just take? So I don't have to take like a packed up 5-pack. Tinder battles? Yeah, it'd be fun to go. I'm waiting for towels. Okay, so I'll get that wiped off in a sec here. Next is the sunroof. Where's my roll? It's probably on the other side. No, it's right here. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna pot it, and then we'll see. It'd be nice if there was an event that was close enough that we could just drive to. Last event that was around here was in 2019. It was in Indiana, and we went. But they like to keep having events that are as far away from me as possible. They're in Florida, Texas, California. This is a student's knife, and you'll know exactly, any tinner will see exactly why this is a student's knife as soon as they look at that. How they snap it like that. That's amazing. And there's no snapper. Yay!
Hello.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
California 2026 RAV4, which would you recommend tinting all of them or some of them? Not everybody's going to agree with this. I think ceramic film, like, a few things. One, do you have kids? Do people sit in the back? If yes, then you should probably do all of it. But you have factory privacy glass. If you like that shade already, you could do something on the front to match that, and that would look really nice. And then the windshield. The windows that matter the most, if you don't have kids, are going to be like where the driver and passenger sit. So like you can ceramic your whole car. But I look at ceramic a little bit more like an umbrella. So if I have the sun beaming in through the windshield, tint's going to be most effective on the windshield. I'm not going to feel the heat. When it's coming through the back, I can't feel that. So if anything, do the front doors and the windshield, maybe do the back, or even just do the front doors and then see how you like it. Then you know it's not all placebo. I think you need a moderator. Probably. It's usually not an issue. It's whenever the chat and like viewership spikes. That's when we start getting weirdness. Is the windshield crack? Nope. Not that I see. That looks good. Yeah, it looks really nice. I'm happy with that. All right, let's print out a sunroof. 40-inch roll. We'll leave a little extra on the sides. Shrinking's not really going to matter much, though. Super curved and kind of curved. Let me see what we're dealing with. So the kind of curved is on the back. So this is the front. Let me see here again. So this should be go to cupboard. See, this is this is the other part I don't like. It like kind of squares off and has a little bow, and this one rounds the corners quite a bit more. So that one, so it's a little bit more, I'll tell you, this is really annoying. I wish they had a front and back, because when you look at it, I feel like it's set up right then. This has got to be the back, this has got to be the front. Final answer. Still really annoying though, because I'm not positive. Before you tint your windshield, research vehicular manslaughter. Why are you running people over? And the other part of that is like, why do they sell me a car that can go 200 miles an hour? It's just, be smart about what you're doing. Or are we looking it up so we know how to get away with it? Is that what we're doing? I'm confused. Do you recommend colored tint? Like what, blue? Involuntary manslaughter. Like an actual color? Or like dyed? There's no way of getting away with it when you're at fault at night? Well, maybe if you cover up your... Maybe if you take your plate off. And then target like an area where there's no cameras. You might be able to. Is that what we're talking about? Okay, I'm just gonna wet shrink this. It's fairly flat. There'll be some shrinking, but we can snap it. We're doing a sunroof. Okay, so this, we're gonna say, is probably the back. We're gonna see how well this lines up. Up, down, up, down, up, down. That's the most fun about this. All the times we gotta go up, down. Okay, this looks pretty good. We guessed correctly. Still gotta shrink the sides here. We're just gonna take all this, and get that corner down, and then we'll snap it. We'll treat it like a door window. You Gen Z? Definitely. Cardio. Oh, I know it. If I can up, down, up, down, up, down. So much fun. Yeah, it's not crazy. It's definitely got some curve to it, though. Use tint slip or gel or both. I use both. No matter what gel you use, you're still going to use your slip solution. They're both important. There's not any soap added to gels, so they act as an assist to your slip solution. You could add a little soap to a gel if you wanted, but the whole purpose of a gel is to be a gel. It acts as a thicker barrier to help keep dirt specks off the adhesive and extra stuff from running in. Okay, I have a good feeling about the pattern. I'll just need a shower after this one. It's not as bad as an F-150. F-150 doesn't give you a nice door sill to stand on to get to the sunroof. Because like, if you're at the back, the sunroof's like over here. This at least puts me pretty nice in the middle. There's definitely more curve towards the front section here and not near as much curve on the back. Just spray yourself with the keg now. Oh, we'll get a shower, all right, that's for sure. This will be the first time I've ever done a panoramic roof like this. I'm probably gonna reverse roll it. This guy is what's up. It's like at grade school. What's up? This guy. How much money were you making in a shop per month? Most money I made was independent, working for auto accessory companies, like glass companies and other things, and just working commission. Working at a shop, you at the right place, you can definitely make good money. But it depends on how they have things structured and how capable you are. You gotta understand, if you're making money at a tint shop, it's their main business. when you're making money at a glass shop, window tint is not their main business, it's an add-on. So you can often get a much better commission rate, but there's some trade-offs. They are not a tint shop, they need to be trained. And it's not their main business, they might not care. So some of them are just not gonna be worth it. It has some really good accounts. A lot of them just wouldn't have enough business for a full-time tinner either. So it like worked out good for everybody. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. I'm going to roll it, but I'm going to roll it off of a board, most likely. And do I start with the back and go towards the front, or do I start with the front and go towards the back? Probably start with the front and go towards the back. Okay, let me set up these boards. I'm on my second attempt of my back window. The sides keep getting overshrunk and creasing. What am I doing wrong? Why are you trying to shrink the sides at all? Tops and bottoms. But also, if you're not shrinking out, oh, see what? I should have taken this off. This is a piece of film stuck to the cars now. There we go. Follow the waves. You got to follow the wave patterns. Stop, activate, view. Should be good. I don't like that sound. I don't like that. Oh, okay. That's not a big deal. I should take the stopper off of this, and then I can slide them anywhere. Because we just put stoppers here so they wouldn't collide into each other. All right, now I gotta remember which side is which. So this is the front. This top is the front. Oh, we can just put it here. Duh, we'll just do that. This is supposed to be the front. This is the back. Top is front. I'm saying that 100 times so I actually remember it. Because then I'm going to be like, which side? What's what? How much would you expect as a full-time tinner? 30%. But that's the trade-off, or like, if they're doing a lot of cars and not charging a lot of money, that percentage might be a little higher, might be a little bit lower. I don't know. So many places are independent, but when I was commissioned at a shop, I was typically 30 to 35%. When I was on the road, I was 50. Look at that. Look at that seat cover. So versatile. It'll cover up the back. You're waxing the car. Oh, because I got spray on it? I kind of want to take another seat cover. Or I'll just do a towel. Should I just do towels? See, this is nice. Because then I got all this covered. I'll just throw a couple towels back here. I need more gel. More. How does this work? There we go. Faster. 500 for a full sedan with a windshield, decent price. Yeah, it's pretty on par with where we're at. Towels are okay, seat covers are better. This one's wet. I always wanted to see this. You know, I would much rather see this than do this. You can fill in. Okay. So now, do I really gotta? I should. I should clean off the top. Oh, I can vent it too, right? Is this like a movable one? Why cover the seats? Just wipe them afterwards? Ew. They have like cloth inserts, buddy. Sorry for putting a little extra care into my customers' cars. Let's get these out of the way. I'm gonna grab the key. Key's right here. I think I fell asleep. Plug this back in. Screw. Might as well, since we're here. Sounds good. I'm gonna turn this on. Oh, does this not? Oh, that's just the shade. Oh, it almost looked like it popped up. Okay, no, just kidding. We'll leave it. Because we have to. Okay, I'm gonna sweep off the outside because it looks messy, which means another scrubby dub. Scrubby dub. Why does this keep bugging out? I know there's comments. Clean it because that's being professional? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good reason. Okay. So the outside is swept off. It's going to be easier to see it. I'm going to scrape it, scrub it, and squeegee. I've heard that one before. There's like these suction cup marks on here too. This is going to be its first real big cleaning, I think. Towel. Where did my little scrubber go? Ah, so annoying. All right, we'll use this. This and a towel. Did you cut that to shape? Yes, I did with the machine. I could definitely hand cut this one. It's just a big quarter window though, so I'm just gonna chance it and hope that the plotted pattern, it seemed like it was a good size and I got a lot of margin. So this is a really good example of something I would rather use a scrub pad over versus a razor blade, and then I'll just see how it looks. Razor blade's really good. Scrub pad's just gonna cover more surface area, and it's gonna do a little better at just getting surface grime off of it in a short amount of time. So this is a pretty new one. It just seemed grimy. That doesn't really help either. That works. That works a little better. Good amount of surface area on this one. Okay. Let's do this. Look at that realism. We got water droplet graphics. We're pretty close. Okay, so first side in, last side out. So no matter what, I gotta split this. Let's trim this too, just be safe. I was never a big fan of rolling sideways. I like rolling off of the window that I'm tinting though. But this is gonna be a tad bit easier than that. We're gonna start with this. And then we can do this. So remember, the top is the front. So first side in, last side out. So that means if we roll the bottom first, that means we gotta unroll the front first. What percentage? This is 50. Tighten this up a little bit. So this goes up on the front edge first. Best stream ever. I don't really feel like it. This is where shit goes wrong. Yep, that's what I thought. Get it anchored first. But, oh, I don't like gravity working against me. But keep in mind, the more you get anchored, so I'm telling myself right now, the more you get anchored, the more stable it is. And that just kind of unrolled itself at the end. That's good. Gently. And keep in mind, I don't know if this pattern is the right pattern. I didn't cut this. Ooh, it's looking good though. Looking good. Joy to the world. Make sure all our edges. God, fuck that. I saw a little sliver gap up there. Imagine what. I'm gonna tack this down, and then it's gonna be like slightly off. And it's gonna be right when they look up, they'll see like a little gap right along the front edge or something. Can't even see it. Looks good on a blurry stream. Use the brush. It's a good one to use the brush on, no doubt. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. That was a little prank I left for myself. I thought I just ripped through the film or something. I'm just taking it little by little. It's going good. I still go back. So people that are just, ooh, there's a bigger speck right here that I'm gonna wash out. For people that are just coming in, where is it? I see it right here before we squeegee that in. Where is it? Right there. Figures there'd be something. Right there. This is shower part 2. Oh my God, it's everywhere. Nice. Well, if we weren't wet before, boy, let me tell you. But as I was squeegeeing it, I just came across a bigger speck that I could take care of before we sealed this down. And I'm glad I did. Meta glasses, no, action 6. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Some harder passes. Can be very critical of it now. Looks good. Oh, what's the difference between normal tint and ceramic tint? Normal looks good. Good, that's on that.
ceramic films help block additional heat. There's just a little bit more performance in that. There's a lot of misinformation and snake oil around like clarity and longevity and this and that. It's like you can have any good film out of any material type. So you can have a good dyed film, you can have a good ceramic film, you can have a good metallized film, you can have a good carbon film, and you can also have shitty versions of all of them too. Poor clarity, poor color, poor longevity. So they bubble, they fade, change color. What kind of glasses? No, regular glasses. But DJI has a camera called the Action 6, and that's what we're streaming off of. It's that little guy. So it's just itty bitty. Oh my God. Stream's a little bit more complicated than that. I shouldn't have unclipped that. There we go. Woo! See, if we didn't cover these, like, ew. You're not like you're kind of wiping it off, but then it soaks in. Just cover everything you can. Okay, so now I have a pair of Meta glasses. Meta glasses do not live stream anymore. The Gen 1s did. They didn't do it very well. And then I bought the Gen 2s, and I looked for that setting, that feature, and then it just doesn't, it's just not there. No streaming on the Gen 2s. And then I found like a third-party app, got them to stream, and it just wasn't very good. Battery life is a big down point, whatever. Go for ceramic on my F-type. It's like a fishbowl, a lot of heat. Yeah, you'll like ceramic a lot more. So the biggest difference between any of the film types is just the amount of heat that they block. And then you just want to make sure you're getting a good version and a shop that's going to do a nice job. Because anybody can get the material, but somebody has to then install it. And as you guys saw on the stream, there's a lot of little things that go into making it look really nice. And there's other things to consider other than just getting the windows tinted. It's getting the windows tinted and making sure I don't fuck up the rest of the vehicle. Yeah, there's a lot of different glasses too. And some of them seem to have a few different features or settings. But Gen 1s I think still might be able to live stream, but it's just not. It's Instagram, Facebook, not very good. What they're really good for is video clips. Video clips are really solid. Video clips are really solid, and music is cool, and phone calls. That's about it. They won't live stream on YouTube. Yeah, so a lot of devices will only stream one place. And they don't necessarily do it very well. I set up this camera so it streams to my computer, and then from my computer, I stream to wherever I want. And then that's where we got fun things like chat. Okay, so let's make sure the inside of this is all peachy. Wow. Oh yeah, this thing looks really nice. Gen 2 will stream on Meta platforms. Gen 1 will stream on Meta platforms. Gen 2 doesn't. Yeah, I wish they were more clear about that, because there's just so much discussion and things people assume. And so when you try and look it up, I just couldn't find a lot of clear information on what they even could do. I was crossing my fingers that they could take video clips up to 5 minutes. And they can. So that's nice. Gen 1s, I bought those. Took them back though, because those only streamed up to a minute at the time. Then it was 3 minutes. And now they'll take video clips up to 5. No need to remove door panels usually. I don't remove door panels most of the time. I'm not against people that do. That's up to you. But I never learned that way. Early on. So I've been tinting for a long time with leaving the with the seals in there. So should I just get the Gen 1s? No, get the, you're not gonna live stream on them anyways. Get the Gen 2s. The Meta ones live stream, but it's not good. You can find some third-party apps that'll allow you to stream like I'm doing. I tried that with these though. So I got that to work with Gen 2s. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this one. I was a little nervous on that sunroof. That went really well. That all turned out nice. I'm happy with this. There's my knife. Did you get them on the Meta website? Yeah, I probably should have just got them on Best Buy though. Best Buy's a little easier about returning stuff if you don't like it. But I had to get prescriptions with mine. Otherwise I can't see. This looks good. All right, so we tightened up the screw, mirror's back. Let's put this cover back on. And then I got one little finger on the sunroof. Oh yeah, Amazon's fine. Yeah. They're easy about returning stuff too. It was a prescription thing. That's why. Good. That looks nice. Car still starts up. That's a good feature. We like it when the cars start after we tint them. Very cool. Ever heard of Reno? Yeah, and I don't know what to think about them. There's a few companies that developed a really bad reputation. I haven't heard, I'll be honest, I haven't heard anything incredibly negative about a lot of brands. Like no massive film failures. We're starting to see a few more Tint X ones pop up. Like after 3 years, I just pay attention to like what the, like if there's a massive film failure, like if, for example, if GeoShield all of a sudden shit the bed, like the group would blow up with negative sentiment about him. I haven't really seen that with anybody in particular in a while, which is good. But Reno is one of those companies. Reno, Scorpion, ESWF. There's quite a few different companies that developed a really negative sentiment for like some massive film failures years ago, either for the ways that they treated their customers after there were failures, usually a combination, and just the sheer amount of issues that they had. Avery was kind of in there somewhat with NR. But I haven't really, like even, yeah, I just really haven't had any major negative sentiment about like anybody. Okay, well this one's good. Oh, that finger, fuck. This little guy. I was installing Apex Ultras, any issues? I wouldn't treat it exactly the same as C2 or any of their other films. Like install it using the same methods, but when you're shrinking it, you're gonna wanna let it cool down a little bit before you card it. Yeah, I'm gonna use a heat gun, let me do that. You work very efficient, except for when I put like the heat gun away. And then I'm like, oh shit. I just need a little bit of toasting right there. It's got one little small guy. Just gotta dry out. How about TinyBot? I have no earthly clue why a company thought it would be good to name their window film brand TinyBot. It might be perfectly fine. I feel like that's a harder thing to explain to customers. Therefore, I just automatically do not like it. That's why I didn't like Tint Depot. I don't like Tint Club. Like the films might be perfectly fine and usable, but when I have a customer that asks what film or when I'm trying to make a sale, like I just feel like people would raise an eyebrow at you. Like, what film is it? Or this shop quoted me $500 in Tiny Bot, and it's like, wait, what? What the fuck? It just doesn't sound like a film brand. Tint Depot sounds like Home Depot. Tint Club sounds like it's cheap. What was the other one? Like Tint Depot was one of the main ones. But it's the type of customers that you tint for. There's a lot of people that do not ask, do not give a shit, and are just coming to you. So the less of a discussion it is, the better for you. It's just like, yeah, you want your car tinted? I can do it for $300 in carbon, right? And you never mention a brand. So like the brand doesn't matter to you. But when we charge $400, $500, $600 and up, I don't want the brand to ever be a question in that conversation. All right. Well, that is that. Looks good. I'm happy with that. That went pretty well, all things considered. Sunroof versus the back window. It would have been quicker with the back window, but it was a repeat customer. It was a good trade-off. I'll take it. I'll take it today. Alrighty, dudes. I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for watching. I've got another one tomorrow. What do I got tomorrow is a question. Ooh, oh, I got a Model Y tomorrow. I don't want to do a Model Y. But that's okay. I'll do it tomorrow. Bye.